I think, Victoria, the overwhelming feeling I had was freedom. I felt a little rudderless, if I'm honest, but that didn't faze me. I felt that I had worked for nearly 40 years for the same company, and I've had a wonderful career with Royal Mail. But I was ready to do something different, but I did not know what on earth that was. And therefore I decided that what I wanted to do was to do all the things that I never had time to do. And one of the things I never had time to do was I never took my children to school. I decided I would take my grandchildren to school. I decided that my husband and I would go adventuring, and not just adventuring at the weekend. I did have a wobble. I had a wobble where I thought, you know, maybe I will never work again. I've worked for this company for nearly 40 years. Who's ever going to employ me again? But I got over that by about 2:30-ish on the day that I wobbled, so that was kind of done. And what I decided I would do was to do nothing until I learned what I'd missed about my corporate life. And it took a little while. It did take a little while. And what I found was I'm a great keeper in touch. My network is one of the most valuable things to me. And I just kept ringing my old pals and chatting and catching up. And I found that I was really interested in what was going on. And if I'm really honest, I think my journey is around 3 words. And it may sound contrite, but it really isn't, and I have thought about it. I remained interested in the company that I worked for, the market I worked in, the people. It was the people. I cared about their success. I cared about how their businesses were going. And by the way, I learned far more about the industry I worked in because I didn't work for the big corporate anymore. And it was fascinating, really learning about the market. And you know what, having time to learn more about the market as well, because I wasn't in that corporate role. And I remember having coffee, this is a bit sad, having coffee in bed one morning with my husband, talking about pricing elasticities of the mail market. And Nigel said to me, darling, I think you need to probably think about doing something about this. And that's what I did. I spent the November lockdown writing a business plan and being interested in the market, the mails market. That's where I was going to stay. Our market had suffered. Everybody suffered during the pandemic, most have. Ours really did. And therefore I thought about what I could do, what the gap was, who my clients would be. Wrote a business plan, set up a business, and launched fully in the new year. And it's been an absolute pleasure. And you know, all I did, I just picked the phone up. I kept picking the phone up to people I knew, and learning from them, listening to them, just say, what can I do to help? You know, I had a very good idea what I could do to help, and the conversations just flowed. And I got to the point fairly quickly, beginning of April, with the position where I was working more than I wanted to work, because I really wasn't going to give up taking my grandchildren to school. I wasn't going to give up having lunch with my mum and going out to play with my mum or adventuring with my husband. So I've taken on a business partner. He's gone and got more clients. So we are still working really hard. And here we are, it's July, and we're having the best time. We're doing all of the great things that I did in the world of the corporate, but without all of the dull stuff. And it's just a joy. It's a joy.